vistazo. Aquí estás a salvo.
¿A salvo, dices?
Si tiene el estómago lleno. ¿Sabes qué es un brujo, Luis?
Un chico bruja.
Yo creo que son algo más que chicos bruja.
¿Estás diciendo que eres un brujo? Porfa, enséñame, porfa, porfa.
Está bien, tú lo has querido. Puedo darte los mejores libros, enseñarte los mejores conjuros, pero hay un 1% que depende de ti.
They're so much fun. They do teach me a lot about like being yourself and like for this one embracing your weirdness. I remember Will taught me a lot about improv, and Jack as well. We made up our own improv game that we would play on set.
Well, I was really, really excited to make an Amblin movie. I mean, I've been wanting to make a movie like this for a long time, is the truth. I feel like I've done so much in horror. There's what body parts are left, really, to chop up. And I wanted to do a movie that reminded me of the movies that I loved when I was a kid. Because when I think of the horror movies, those were VHS movies for me. You know, those are films that I watched at a sleepover with friends, Friday the 13th and Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Evil Dead. But when I think of going to the movies, that was Poltergeist, Gremlins, Goonies, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Back to the Future. And that Amblin logo meant everything to me. But there were other movies that I saw that, like films like Time Bandits, Terry Gilliam's film, or other Monty Python movies, or Tim Burton's early work. You know, you look at Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Beetlejuice. You know, these are big formative experiences in my youth, and that's what I wanted to try and recreate and capture. So we got the 80s Universal logo and the 80s Amblin logo. And even though this isn't Stranger Things, it's not a period, it's a period thing set in the 50s, I wanted it to sit alongside those other movies. And when Steven Spielberg saw the movie, he loved it and said it's not mocking or imitating one of those earlier films, but really feels like the next generation of them. I wanted the movie to be scary. I mean, that was one of Spielberg's main points that he said to me is, don't be afraid to make it scary. You just are scary in a non-violent way. You know, I think about Escape from Witch Mountain or movies that scared me as a kid. And I also think about the early movies that I saw that got me into scary movies. You know, if you're a parent and you want your kids to love scary movies, then you take them to see House with a Clock in Its Walls. Because it's a fun ride, but it's not going to traumatize any children. It's going to scare them like a haunted house. But the trick is to do it, like instead of chopping off heads, I chop up pumpkins. And yeah, it's pretty easy to scare Owen. So if Owen is terrified, no, that was really scary.
That was a little late reaction.
That was a little, ah! You see, yeah, like that.
Oh, you're gonna first.
Well, Owen came up with his own spell. In the movie, he has to do a spell. And he came up with all of it. We didn't rehearse it or anything. So the way he was shaking and moving and shimmying.
Oh, yeah, that was fun. That was a fun scene to do.
So yeah, but my word would be salamander.
Salamander, my word would be avocado.
No quiero ese enano siniestro. ¿Y crees que yo sí? Un golpe de suerte.